RFK Jr. just announced something that sounds like a huge win. The FDA is banning food dyes like Red 40 and Yellow 5 by the end of 2026. That's awesome, right? Well, not exactly, because it's not a ban, it's a understanding. Basically, RFK says the FDA and the food companies have agreed to voluntarily phase them out. No law, no penalties, no consequences if they back out. It's less regulation and more of a pinky promise. Which this whole thing should make you realize that these brands have been able to take out these dyes this entire time, but chose not to. However, once you pull the thread on this whole food dye thing, you realize the entire food regulation system is basically held together with duct tape and blind faith. While these dyes were approved by the FDA decades ago, hundreds of other food additives sneak into your food through a loophole called GRAS, which stands for Generally Recognized as Safe. It works like this. Say a company creates a new additive, a dye or a preservative, whatever. And instead of sending it to the FDA, they hire their own scientists to study it. And surprise, those scientists almost always say it's safe. So the company marks it as GRAS and puts it in your food. No FDA approval, no public disclosure, no nothing. It's basically like how much sawdust can you put in a Rice Krispie before you notice. Now there is a system where they can notify the FDA, but they don't have to, and most don't. The food industry is not just selling us junk. They're grading their own junk and telling us it's fine. So yeah, this understanding on food dyes, it's a good start, I guess, but it's a tiny scratch on a much bigger system, one that's still very much alive, still very much broken, and still deciding what goes in your food without even asking